Hello, I'm David Parkin, and This is I can't remember the number, the third or fourth blog about the next life, my brain injury memoir that also touches upon depression and music, and love, and having lots of broken bones, and all that stuff, and death. Anyway, um, I'm really glad today is Father's Day because it's kind of helped me. I was thinking, what am I going to do my blog about? And then something occurred to me, well, it's Father's Day. Let's talk about my parents in the memoir. Now, the main character in the memoir is, of course, me. Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. Um, and it's about my journey from being broken to being a bit less broken. But it's also the other two. There are other characters in there. There's my friend Sally. There's Ruth, and who keep coming back and going in and out of the story. But the main two other main characters in the whole story are my mum and dad, and our journey through this terrible thing that happened to me. Yeah, and they were just amazing, dumbfoundingly great, and we're very close now. I mean, we always were close, but and I was thinking, oh, what am I going to write about? I'll read you some of the writing where I'm going to and I was thinking, should I do it for? I've got so many sections that deal with different stuff, like the sections where I'm really struggling and they're struggling or barely coping as well. There are other sections that are beautiful, for both of us, for all of us. For example, off the top of my head, the first time I walked, I broke many bones as well in this accident, and the first time I walked was kind of lovely. It was kind of like redoing something so elemental and simple, and my parents were there going, "Come on, walk to us. There's a good boy," and it was just it was lovely. But I decided I couldn't really make a choice. So what I'm gonna do is read you bits from the start of the book and a bit from the end. Just I don't know if it properly. Well, it doesn't properly show the journey they've went on, but yeah, from there to there. Hopefully, it'll give you a vague idea. I hope it's okay to read from the end. It's all right, isn't it? It won't give anything away. No. Okay. So the first bit I'm going to read you comes right in the first chapter of the book, where it's a day in the life of New Timber Ward, and my parents come and visit me. By the way, I'm broken. Got various broken bones. Don't speak like that. And anyway, it'll become apparent. After dinner, my parents come, tired, bedraggled, but looking like home. Mum has short brown hair, is very tiny, but has a healthy strength. She used to be a PE teacher and is still a keen sportswoman. She'll happily play a game of hockey, then hit the bar with the girls afterwards. Some people might describe her as a feisty little woman. Dad is quieter and less of a social whirlwind. He is pleasantly plump, pleasantly plump, and I get my ginger locks from him. They are still ginger, honest. He, however, has lost the red, and the hair has turned a nice white blonde. Another thing, it's the neighbour shouting at his parents. Lovely. There's a lovely little thing for Father's Day. Let's listen to the neighbour swearing at his children. He only gets them at the weekend, and he doesn't deal with it very well. Anyway, can you hear that? This is beautiful. This is giving you a real multivariate look at Father's Day and parenting from my parents, who are great, to he's not bad actually. Sometimes they really do laugh. They all laugh together, but when he does shout at them, he shouts at them. And I don't think, I'm not a dad. What can I say? Also, in the house, my housemate, it's his daughter's birthday party. She's 4, and he's organised this massive thing, and he's very stressed. But he's gone. They've gone. I'm so glad I don't have anything to do with it. Anyway, right, back to the script. He has lost the red and has turned a nice white blonde. Another thing I've inherited from him is something about my face. We both seem to attract beggars and charity muggers. We must look approachable, harmless, and nicely exploitable. Short blokes, both stuck with this dumbly amiable face. So they come and see me every day, and their visits have really improved recently. For a while they were visiting Coma Dave and beeping, blinking machines. They then paid several visits to thrashing, angry, mute Dave. Who I am now is a fairly new development. Admittedly, I might sound a bit drunk, but I've always got a smile and a giggle. Plenty of giggles. I am suffering from euphoria. It can happen with a brain injury, apparently. The poor stranded patient is left finding everything hilarious. And I do. Ridiculously, stupidly funny. I greet them with a smile and a laugh. I have a new laugh as well as a new voice. It sounds like a thick henchman's guffaw. It is deeply, deeply dippy. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I've put yuck, yuck, yuck in, but because it was kind of like kind of like that. I tell them about a moment when a nurse asked about my discharge. She, of course, was talking about my discharge from hospital, but I couldn't help hearing the possible smut hidden within her innocent question. Now, I found this funny at the time, and it only sets me off again. For a good 4 minutes, I'm quite helpless. The thing about the giggles is that halfway through, you realise you are slightly out of control, and for some reason this makes the whole thing funnier, which only sparks more haw-haws and some more, and so on and so forth, and haw-haw-haw. Lisa, a young passing nurse, looks over. The discharge conversation? I nod and gesticulate weakly at her, giving her the thumbs up. My parents smile. If this is brain damage, then they like this phase. We play Trivial Pursuit and keep busy. Every time I surprise myself with the odd thing I know. It is weird having no immediate past, but being able to remember which Beatle wrote something. George Harrison. Talking about my memory, my parents asked me what I've done today. Now they know the answer, but they are testing me. I shrug, puff my cheeks out. Just sat around all day, I guess. After doing the voice, just sat around all day, I guess. No, Dave, my mum says. You had something, did something. Can you remember? Hang on. Did I have physio? Yes, well done, but you had something else. I have no idea. I cast around wildly. They x-rayed my head? My catheter bag burst? No, you had Stuart Little, remember? Stuart Little is a silly name I've given a neurologist who came to visit me because he's very short. Oh yeah, I lie. That's my reality at the moment. I have this goldfish memory, but I do find the world hilarious. Just don't ask me what made me laugh, because chances are I will have no idea. So on to another big hole in my memory. Mum, what happened? What was the accident? My mum rolls her eyes. Not this again. Look, we've told you. You're in Eastbourne, and that's as much as we know. We don't really know what happened. But someone must have seen something. No, you were just found. We don't know what happened. And this is all I get, but I do persist in asking, having forgot that I asked 5 minutes ago. My mum gets a bit annoyed, shuffles the Trivial Pursuit cards and says, "Look, it's your turn for a brown cheese." I get distracted, I'm good at brown, and we move on. But this conversation is familiar, and whenever I bring it up, I'm met with a thinly veiled agitation. What happened? None of the nurses seem to know either. What went on out there? What exactly did happen? We are all, it would seem, in the dark. Little bit ominous there. This is right from the end, and this is the last time. This is one of the last chapters that talks about my parents. Now, I'm a bit worried. It portrays them as pissheads, and they're really not. They drink in a nice, comfortable, sort of middle class way, bottle of wine with dinner in a French way, but they rarely get wankered. Anyway, however, this isn't too much longer, by the way. So if you're getting bored, just hang on. My drunk mum and dad. All those times as a teenager when I didn't come home on time, all those times I was thoughtless and unpunctual, I think back to all those bollockings off my mum and decide that maybe she had a point. Mum and dad aren't home yet. They've been to a hockey do or gala or something, and they are not back at the time they said they would be. I sit up in bed, turn my lamp on and frown at my watch. Where are they? I tut and decide to read my book. They're only 15 minutes late when I hear the taxi pull up. There are jolly voices, a joke is cracked, and laughter. The taxi driver drives off with goodbyes yelled from the windows. Then I hear Mum and Dad coming up the drive and trying to scale the few steps leading up to the front porch. There is a slip and the sound of crackling branches as a hedge is heavily leaned into. Then laughter again. "Oh, John, come on," says my mum in a high voice filled with mock exasperation. It would seem my dad is the problem. I'm fine. Don't worry. Where's the porch? Why isn't the porch light on? Can't see anything." I can hear the slur in his voice. Mum, tiny woman that she is, could always handle the sauce better. Then a few attempts at getting my key in the lock, an expletive in a low voice. "Here, John, let me do it." I get out of bed and make my way to the top of the stairs. The door swishes open, they pile in, and for a while I watch them in silence. My dad tries to get his shoes off and then decides that he'd better sit on the stairs to do it. Mum blearily inspects her makeup in the mirror. "And what time do you call this?" I say in a booming voice. Mum turns the landing light on. "Oop, are we late?" She scowls at her watch. "Oh, for God's sake, I can't read this bloody thing. John, what do you make it?" "What?" My dad is still grappling his shoes. "What do you make it?" "What do I make what?" "The time." "What?" "What do you make the time?" My mum's voice is high and shrill, once again filled with pretend tried patience. "Right." My dad looks at his watch. A moment passes. He brings his wrist closer to his face, frowning. "I can't read this bloody thing." "It's 12:15, I say. "Oh," says Mum, looking up and with drooping eyelids. "Sorry," and then in a low voice to Dad, "I think we're in trouble." They laugh. Then they try to tackle the big stairs, my mum takes my dad's hand and leads the way. As I look down on them, I remember a moment in my youth, the moment I was introduced to the concept of goosing. I was about 10 and in the same position on the stairs. My parents were also in the same position, making their way up the stairs, my dad following my mother. Then, with a jokey gasp, my mum said, "Oh, John, don't goose me." They both laughed, and I looked down, confused. "What's goosing?" I asked. A memory from a time when I was younger, when they were younger and more carefree. They're certainly not. They haven't been in the past of the book. They're in this mood tonight, and as they clumsily ascend the stairs, I say goodnight and go back to bed. I listen as they make their way down the hallway, talking about the night. "Did you think Brian was a bit smelly?" This is the first time I've seen them drunk and happy for a long time. I must be getting better. They have stopped worrying about me quite so much. I am pleased that they have let themselves go a bit tonight. They deserve it. Now, just a tiny little bit from the last chapter, because it's Dad's Day and I'm feeling soppy. I'm being driven back to Leicester to return to my home after a long stay with them after the hospital. And it's a big moment. I look at my mum and dad, silent in the front seats, and I think about how much I love them. As I was lying in bed, tubed, lost and defenceless, they were asked for a very particular love. A love from a long time ago. To love the defenceless thing that is yours. Elemental. And there. They are parents and they have done their job breathtakingly well. I love them very much indeed. Oh, you soppy dick. Anyway, so yeah, that's my mum and dad, and just to give you a brief hint on how they kind of are so in the book so much. Little plug, this Thursday, I think, 19th of June, Thursday, July, no. Yeah, this Thursday, 19th of June, Parkin presents, is at Embrace Arts, and we got loads of good people. I'll be hopefully doing some scored readings with my musicians. We got Lloyd Allen, who I know because he used to be a Leicester musician. He's just great. He's one of the tallest people I know as well. So I'll make sure we're never standing on the stage at the same time. Then we've got Martin Luke Brown. Yes, I'm sure that's his name. Martin Luke Brown, who's just really young, talented and handsome. So if you're a girl and you don't like football and you want to see a handsome man sing to you, do come. Oh yeah, it's the same. It's the game of the football's on that night. It's an English match. Screwed. Anyway, and then finishing off, her name is Calla, who I think will be a real Parkin Presents experience. Intimate, kind of brooding, lots of different interesting instruments. A real atmospheric affair, I think. So yeah, that's my plug, and I can't think of anything else to plug. All right, cheers. Thank you for listening. You've been lovely.